Sometimes, man, you just get to where I can't figure this out. Like help me out. I'm trying to understand, dudes, what the hell is going on. So that's the name of this partnership. You tell me. 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 This is cool. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. Live on Mondays. You tell me. Live on Mondays. You tell me. Live on Mondays. You tell me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey man, I think we gotta update the music. I love the beat, I love the track, but it still say live on Mondays, and we done switched to Tuesdays.
Man,
So
yeah, we gotta do something.
we're gonna have to get the beat redone. Hey, y'all check in. Y'all make sure you tap in. We're going live on the Pregame Network on Deuce the Scoop channel as well as Big Dog Chico channel. It is You Tell Me with yours truly, Uncle Neely and Philip Dukes. When you come into the chat, let us know where you're checking in from because we worldwide, baby. So chat, show some love to each other, be respectful, and let's have some fruitful discussions of what's going on in the world of sports, business, culture, you name it. Dukes, how you feeling on this Tuesday night, baby?
Man, I'm good, man. Blessed. Shoot, allergies messed up. You know, this weather changing in Atlanta. It was freezing last week. Now it's almost 80 degrees today, but you know, we just go keep rolling. You know, it's a small thing to a giant.
I mean, I don't want to say jealous because I'm never jealous of my brother. I love my brother. I was a little envious when I saw you with the 2 baby shower plates because ain't nothing like some baby shower food.
Hey man, look, my partner took me. So my partner Melvin, man, shout out to Melvin. Him and his frat brother, they got spots. They got back-to-back spots in Pritchard, Alabama, right outside Mobile. So one got the cigar lounge and the other one got an after-hour spot. Then my other partner took me to a party on the other side of town, other side of Pritchard. Pritchard ain't that big, and it was like you had to pay a little bit of money to get in, and it was like they had a photo shoot right here. They had a family reunion on one side. They had like a college party. I mean, it was crazy. And I told my partner, I said, man, this is my type of party right here. You stay right there, I'll be back. And shoot, man, about 2 hours later, man, I came back with some new friends and 2 plates of baby shower food, and I was ready to go.
Hey man, I'm gonna give somebody a business idea out there. You need to open a restaurant that just serve baby shower food. Pinwheels, meatballs, rotel. I'm telling you. Big Dog Chico, turn that damn music down, man. I'm getting old. Like I'll sound like old folks. turn that down. Hey. Big Dog Chico back there jamming. Like. Now we got folks checking in for Corpus Christi, Texas, Jonesboro, Georgia, Phoenix, AZ, North Las Vegas, 303 Denver's in the house. Of course, ATL. You know, speaking of ATL, man, let me go ahead and kick this thing off with the You Tell Me. That ain't got nothing to do with sports, but it got something to do with culture. And you are in Atlanta, the state of Georgia. It is the home of Waffle House. And Waffle House has announced that due to this egg crisis with all the bird flu and the chickens that had to get killed, they going up 50 cents on eggs. So you make your order, you want 2 scrambled, you might as well add $1 to the bill. So you tell me, Dukes, is people gonna stop going to Waffle House while the eggs high?
Man, hell no. Ain't no way. Man, that dollar, man, they overdue for that dollar, man. Let me tell you something. For everything that they go through a Waffle House to be there, we still taking our money to Waffle House, especially if you still in that nightlife. I mean, Christmas Day, they there. Thanksgiving, they there. If ain't nobody in the world earned an extra dollar, it's Waffle House. Now they got the drive. So now they got the pick up only Waffle Houses now, where after 8 o'clock you can't go sit in there. So they trying to make it where it may be a little more safe because you know Old National Highway at 3 o'clock in the morning it gets a little tricky when you just want an all-star breakfast. So so now they starting to introduce the pickup onlys where you just call your order and it keeps everybody safe. So they've kept their prices relatively low in comparison to inflation. So I think they about do, 50 cent an egg. I can't be too mad at that.
I'm on board with you, man. I think they deserve some hazard pay.
Yeah.
'Cause it gets busy, it goes down. It not only just go down to DM, it go down in the WH. It goes down in the Waffle House.
Yeah,
I was online, man, and it wasn't Yelp. It was one of these Facebook groups where people talk about their experience at the restaurant. And based on the profile pictures, this lady that don't look like me and you, and everything that she was complaining about Waffle House, the people came back and said, "Baby, that's why we go. Like we go to see the waitresses fight. We go.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, that's why we go." Now I'm gonna tell you this. I love that pickup window you talk about, because here in Jackson, right off 55, both of them, we done had 2 Waffle Houses to close. Now when you see a closed Waffle House, you need to keep on rolling.
Yeah, man. Like it ain't no it ain't no joke. And I done seen some stuff in that one on Old National. Back in my day, before I changed my ways, man, I could go to Waffle House or Old National, wait there long enough, and I'm gonna find a TV, a computer, some new Jordans. I just wait, and somebody, around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, here's a guy who used to my uncle owned the club, and it was a guy who used to clean all the clubs at the end of the night named Bucket Man. And shout out, if you're from Old National, Bucket Man used to be out there from the Chevron back to 285. And Bucket Man gonna bring you something. He gonna find it. One time he brought me a computer, man, and this is when I stopped buying stuff off the street. Man, he bought me a computer, and it had everybody's stuff from the office that he stole it out of. I mean, it had the pens, it had the little mouse pad with their pictures on there. It had the surge protector. I said, "Bucket, man, you wouldn't have got it all, didn't you?" He said, "Well, you say you need a computer." I said, "All right, man. $60, man, and you know what? That was my last time." I say they done took it too far. But
We ain't have Bucket Man, but we had Scooter. And
Yeah.
Scooter back there selling TVs. But here was the trick. If you let Scooter load the TV, it wasn't no TV, it was just the box. and he would act like it was heavy. He's struggling with it. And he would keep, man. I just said Scooter beat some folks. Shout out to Larry Williams. Larry Williams said Waffle House application say, "Can you fight?"
Yeah.
Like, can you fight?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. I done seen some wild stuff in that Waffle House. So yeah, that extra 50 cent, man. I wish it, you know what? I wish they would put a service tax, if they don't have it already, something for the employees, man, because they deserve it for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's on you, big dog. I just had to come with some pop culture for a second.
Oh, I got some pop culture. See,
this egg prices speaking the nation.
We're gonna go from egg prices to the price of loyalty. You tell me, should 50 Cent be mad at Big Meech for taking that picture with Rick Ross after he basically turned his son into a star by telling his story? Does he have a real beef?
Man, I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you the scapegoat first. Let me tell you the excuse first.
Okay.
Man been locked up a long time, man. Might not be in the loop, might not have thought none of it. But out here in the real world,
right,
you can't kick it with somebody who fighting against me and we supposed to be boys. Like, it really is just that simple. It's like if me and Deuce Scoop is tight, and it's this dude that don't do nothing but shoot shots at Deuce Scoop, come after him at everything, me and that dude can't ride around together.
Yeah.
Like, Deuce my guy. And so I imagine 50 gonna have something to say, because 50 ain't normally quiet about too much.
Yeah.
And you're exactly right. The whole BMF stories, turning Lil Meech into a household name as far as the acting goes. I can see 50 feeling some kind of way, but I can also see, like, hey man, hey, grown men, start acting like grown men, man. You just got out, let this stuff slide. Ain't no need going back. He go to Chico. That I know that pitch ain't real. That AI right there. What you think? How you feeling?
Man, I'm stuck in the middle on that one, man. Because that's happened to me in real life, where I got 2 partners that's beefing, and I ain't got nothing to do with it. Damn near met them both at the same time. spent the same amount of time with the both of them, and they just happened to be beefing. So, I'm like, I gotta be Switzerland. I gotta be neutral.
Yeah.
Bro, like I can't get into that beef that y'all have. And I'm gonna show both y'all love at the same rate. So Meech probably like, look, what Rick and 50 got going ain't got nothing to do with me. I seen Rick, we doing this show. All right, boom, here you go. And if I run into 50, I gave 50 my whole life story.
Yeah.
Now, 50 Cent probably moves a different way. And this ain't the first time, he's felt something from that family, as the brother of Southwest T took a picture with I believe it's Supreme's son, who's another 50 Cent. So I think this is deeper than that picture, to be honest. I think the picture was the icing on the cake, because if someone is truly neutral, I don't see that type of reaction to where 50 is like, oh yeah, well now you a rat and you better be looking out for this documentary that's coming out. It's like, it's one of those things where somebody had something already planned and they were just waiting on the time to use it. Like, all right.
Just wanted the reason.
Yeah, all he wanted was the reason, So we're gonna see how it plays out. But you made a big point about being grown. And even with at this big old age I'm at, I literally it probably not even a couple months ago, I got caught in between two of my partners, and both of them are very street certified, and both of them are they still on that a little bit, which I'm like, hey, look, bro, like we all getting money legally. This don't have to be nothing where somebody is going to potentially get into something and we in our 30s and 40s. Like, that don't make no sense, right?
Yeah.
And in order for me to talk to both of them, I had to have some type of connectivity to each one of them. And I do want to shout both of those guys out. I can't, and they probably know who they are if they listening. But I appreciate the way that y'all didn't make me choose, first of all, because I'm a civilian. I'm from the hood, but I'm 1,000% a civilian, and it ain't nobody who's gonna be like, man, Duke's a tough guy. He trying to do all this. Nah, straight civilian. But I'm around. So as an adult, we have to make better. We got to make better choices, especially when they could come with real consequences, for sure.
Absolutely, man. That's why we was talking on Uncle Chico Live with the Entertainment Report when everybody was making the issue out of the Drake lawsuit, and I understand the feeling some type of way about it, but I also had to chime in and say, look, I remember they had won lawsuits, it was shooting, so I would much rather be this way than the way they used to do it.
Man, what you talking about? You said something then.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'm gonna go to a little football on you now.
All right.
Colorado schedule dropped today. It's out. 2 bye weeks again, non-conference games, Big 12 games. You see it all there. When you look at this schedule, first 5 games, 4 out of the first 5 games at home, and then you never have a road game back to back. So you got 4 out of 5 at home, and then when you go on the road, it's every other with 2 bye weeks built in. What you're guaranteed to have is a new quarterback for this team. Whether it's the Liberty transfer or the kid out of high school, you're going to have a new quarterback. How advantageous is this schedule to a new quarterback?
Man, this is the one. If you got to play Georgia Tech, you want them at home. Your first 2 games are at home. If it's it's going to be a new quarterback either way it goes, like you said, depending on who it is. So you want to start out at home. You get 2 games to get your feet up under you before you go on the road. And imagine how much momentum you'll have if you win those first 2 going into your first road game. I think it sets up really nicely for the Buffs this year when you have I believe it's 7 home and 5 away, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
And you got to take advantage when you get those years, because guess what? The next year they flip. So you got to take advantage when you get those offsetting years. When you get your share of games at home. If I'm not mistaken, did I see BYU was at home?
Yep, BYU is at home.
Man, when you talk about get back, the Saul initial, that get back, you know what? You got to circle that game. But I think outside of that, imagine how lit that Colorado game is going to be in Houston. Man, Houston is a city that's almost like Colorado coming to Atlanta. That's
Mhm.
that game is gonna be lit. They're gonna show up the same way they showed up in San Antonio. So I think the schedule it's a really nice schedule, and I think that this is one that I see a road to 9 wins at minimum.
Yeah, I'm with you. And as I told Coach Prime in our closeout interview from the season last year, one thing we learned from 2024 season is that 9 wins ain't enough. Been there, did that, got to get to 10 some kind of way, assuming the conference parlays like it did in 2024 to 2025. You never know. Hell, 8 wins might be enough if people lose.
Right.
But you won 9 last year and it wasn't enough. What I love about the schedule when you talk about a new quarterback with a new system to them, those first 2 games at home. 4 out of 5 of the first games at home. 2 of them you open up a non-conference, so that alleviates some of that mental stress. But there's certainly a path in that schedule, for 9 wins. I'm just like you, Dukes. It's 2 of them I got circled. I got BYU circled, and I got that last final game with Kansas State circled. We saw what happened with BYU in that bowl game. I mean, just a trouncing. And here's your chance for some get back on your home field. And should you not get that get back, it really changes the body language and the rivalry talk in that conference of not being able to get over that hump. But don't fall asleep and look past, the Iowa State who was riding high, but you didn't get to play them last year.
Right.
But I think with the losses to both the teams in Kansas and the loss to the bowl game in BYU, that you got to have those 2 games circled. But the flow of the schedule, first 4 out of 5 at home, never on the road, back-to-back, 2 built-in bye weeks. I got to love that for a new quarterback taking over a new offense.
Absolutely, 1000%.
There she comes. She coming up.
Hey, it's on me, Unc.
Yes, sir.
Who is the new? You tell me who is the new offensive line coach in Colorado? You tell me that.
He's new to the position, but he ain't new to the building. A lot of people have been speculating and looking for a name to come out, and a lot of folks have been lobbying for the job, and putting out hashtags. But Gunnar White has moved into that office once occupied by Phil Loholt. Gunnar White has a contract in front of him as of February 1st. It is his room. There's going to be some support and co-coaching, if you will, because Big George Hegeman is going to be there in a support role as far as, giving all he can with his NFL experience from the Cowboys and the Eagles. But make no mistake about it, Coach Gunnar White, this is his room. This is his job. This is his opportunity. When you just sit back and look at where he has been, he's a HBCU graduate of Jackson State, coached at Belhaven under the legendary Hal Mumme, coached at Nevada offensive line, and also, it's been New Mexico. It's also been with Coach Prime since Jackson State. So he has earned this opportunity to move up and take over this room. And so many times, man, you see guys have to leave out to get an opportunity. They have to go to other programs and move across the country. But Coach Prime recognized the talent in Gunnar White, recognized, that he has rose up through the ranks. And so he has been given this opportunity he's so richly earned, to coach the offensive line in Colorado. And one thing I say, Dukes, to a lot of people who don't know him, because in that graduate assistant role and analyst role back in the day, a couple of years ago, you couldn't interview them. They couldn't have direct impact as coaching players. So, he may be unknown in that regard, but he has been part of Coach Prime's program since Coach Prime began coaching at Jackson State. Heavy in the recruiting of the offensive line, good relationship with the players and the parents. So I'm looking for Gunnar White to make some noise, man. And because the rapport he has with a Jordan Seaton, with a Phillip Houston come back off of injury, been with Rock since Jackson State, Tyler Brown. Don't sleep on Gunnar White and what he's going to do with this offensive line with the support of George Hegeman.
No, that's dope. And I believe somebody in the chat, but that ain't the first time I heard. They say he a black belt in Taekwondo. If
Yeah,
I'm
he is a
mistaken.
black belt. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get ready to take it down. So no, I think it's what I like about it is more than anything is hiring from within. Uh, when I was out there in Colorado and me and you had that long sit down with Coach Prime, we heard him talk about his philosophy, which is you want to bring people up, and now that opened up an opportunity for somebody else to be lifted from where they are to get in that same pipeline. And so I think the way that he's building from within, and he knows he's going to lose coaches. You make a great point of that, Uncle Neely, when you say you don't, when you have good guys, you know that there are going to be people coming after him. So
Absolutely.
I think this is a rising star in the industry that Coach Prime is really saying, you know what, this guy's been with me, he's helped, and nobody has a better idea of what he actually means to the program than Coach Prime. And if we know anything about Coach Prime, we do know that if you don't fit what he's trying to do, it's nothing personal. I just got to win. And so if he didn't think that that he would help him win, I know for sure. And he's had a 4-year interview at minimum. So if he didn't think that this was the guy for the job, and 4 years of seeing how he moved and how he operates with the support of a George Hageman, then maybe then you can't really believe in what Coach Prime is doing if you don't believe that he made the right hire. So man, shout out to Coach Gunner, man, and looking forward to big things from him.
Yeah, man. I'm going to double back on something you said about that hiring from within that 4-year interview. Because again, whether you know this guy from the staff or not, he has been with Coach Prime since Coach Prime touched down at Jackson State, and walked in as a volunteer. And so here you got a guy who's gone from volunteer to graduate assistant to analyst, to now inheriting the room from Phil Lodeholt. And so each of Coach Prime's offensive line hires, whether it's Marcusson at Jackson State, the two line coaches of Colorado, it's been Gunnar White who's been the consistent backbone in the room, knowing what Coach Prime wants, because the other guys hadn't worked for Coach Prime before. So they did a lot of leaning on him. And you even hear Coach Prime saying when he hired people from outside the organization, he said, y'all got to stop looking at people's titles and look at what job they were doing. And so Rob Livingston may not have had the title that you thought was sexy at Cincinnati, but everybody that Coach Prime talked about how integral Rob Livingston was in the success of Cincinnati's defense. And that's what got him, to Colorado. And so when you look around the offensive line room, and Coach Prime knows who's been in there working with the players, working with the parents, working with the coach, being liaison to the head coach, getting everything ready on game day. Gunnar White knows what he's doing. He's earned this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to covering his success, his coaching style, and showing more and more so people can finally get to know him in a manner that we've known him, over these 4 or 5 years.
Nah, I mean, shoot. Everybody I'm watching Twitter, and when there were a couple of people saying, "Hey, this can't be true," and you saw a couple of naysayers and things like that, and then I saw somebody make a tweet that just made sense and was like, "Bro, you think he don't know what he doing?" Like that quick, just all he said. You think he don't know what he's doing? And I think this year with the more veteran offensive line, you got a lot of people back, and you add some pieces. I think you'll see the improvement and being able to get into more of what Sherman wants to do as far as running the ball, which has been his calling card. And people don't realize that you've got basically an offensive line coach and your offensive coordinator as well, who's coached a ton of blocking schemes and techniques over his time. So I think by having somebody, I think that synergy that's going to be created between those three, being the offensive coordinator and the two in the offensive line room, I think it's going to be exciting, especially with the shift in paradigm when it comes to running the ball this year.
Yeah, before I kick it back to you, man, well, it might be on me, but you nailed it best. 4-year job interview. I trust Coach Prime. If I was on the outside, I would be trusting Coach Prime. As a person on the inside and having worked with Gunnar White and Coach Prime, I can tell you this is a sound hire. I don't know if someone's looking for him to, hire Jackie Slater, Hall of Famer from the Rams or something, but you know, this guy knows what he's doing, and he's gonna make noise in that room.
For sure.
I think it's on me because you asked me about the offensive line.
Yep.
All right, man. They tried. I don't think it worked. You tell me, what the hell does the NFL got to do to get people back interested in the Pro Bowl weekend? More people are watching the East-West Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl than they did the Pro Bowl activities. What does the NFL have to do to make the Pro Bowl a Pro Bowl weekend again?
Oh man, I think one, you would probably have to take a game away from the regular season and make the Pro Bowl the last game of the year again. Back in the day, you got the Super Bowl players, you got everybody in the Pro Bowl because it happened after it was the last game of the season. It was the last football you were going to get. So on a week where you got other football going on, they weren't the only show in town. So when you think about, you had the East-West Shrine Bowl, you had the Senior Bowl. Shoot, by Sunday you got enough football in. Now we waiting on the Super Bowl. But if it's the only show in town where on that week ain't no more football, no college football, no looking to you look to those post game, those postseason all-star games to see who's gonna play on your NFL team next. Well, the Pro Bowl one was all eyes were on the Pro Bowl previously. I think some of the things that went on around it were a little more fun. Even the mystique of guys wanting to go to get their free trip to Hawaii. People wanted it. You know, the Pro Bowl was still way more selective back in the day. Now you got guys who, like, literally, what was it, 2 years ago? And not to hate on them, but the backup quarterback from the Ravens made the Pro Bowl because of injuries.
Yeah.
Snoop, what's Snoop's name? Snoop Huntley. And I like Snoop Huntley, but you know, did he have a Pro Bowl season? And I think that as you start to water down, it's either you got to get rid of it or let it be and just leave it at all pro. Because at this point, it's like it's so watered down that people don't really respect the game the way they used to. And it's basically like just going to hang out in Orlando where, you know, keep it at, if you're gonna do that, let them have a dunk contest or give them a something. Give them, it don't matter, but what that is, what that I ain't watched the Pro Bowl at all. I mean, I ain't even watch a highlight from it. If somebody quizzed me and said, was the Pro Bowl flag football or tackle, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you this: you didn't miss a damn thing. I didn't watch any of the events to completion. You know, I tried. I saw. Let me watch this skills challenge. About 5 minutes into it, man, I can't do this. Same thing with throughout the weekend. I tried. I kept trying, but I just couldn't do it. I think that one of the things you got to do for the players is to get the players back interested in wanting to do it. I think you got to go back to Hawaii, man. I think the NFL made a mistake in trying to skew it for the fans and bringing it to the mainland and not understanding what that did to the players and the reward for them and their families of being in Hawaii for a week postseason. And so Hawaii created, first of all, I want to be there. I want to go. And I don't think you're getting that with it being played on the mainland like you are historically. Then two, I think you got to do something to make the game matter, to make the outcome of the game matter. Whether that is who is the home team in next year's Super Bowl, regardless of record, let the Pro Bowl establish that, kind of like you do in the All-Star game for baseball, like it has an impact on the series dynamic. You've got to do something, you know, to make people, one, want to be there, and then two, want to compete. And I do think that whereas the NFLPA got involved, and I understand there's a lot of games in the season, and here they're talking about adding one, it's got to be tackle football, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, maybe rest in peace. You don't need Sean Taylor taking somebody's head off again. But it's got to be tackle football. It's got to be the regular rules. It's got to be competitive. It's got to be where the players want to be there, you know, and compete. So I think you have got to get the dollars up for it. You know, not only back in Hawaii, you bring your family, but hell, winning team, you know, 500 each, 250 each, whatever it takes to get people to make sure that the outcome of the game now matters versus just being able to kick it. Because when you look at places what's taken to Orlando, the skills challenges weren't necessarily relative to football. I did like the QB challenge with the moving targets. That was pretty cool to watch. Don't know how serious the players took it though.
Right.
And then pretty much, man, to be honest with you, most entertaining part of the whole weekend was the whole Manning versus Manning thing. Eli had a team, Peyton had a team, and they kind of scored it going against each other. And, their banter playing off each other like me, you, and Chico. If you take them away from it, dry bones in the valley. Got to get the competition back. Got to get the players wanting to go. Got to increase the revenue to what the players get for participating. And at some point, like you talked about, Big Dog in the background, a cheek on the background. Me and him talked about and talking about with you now, Dukes. You can't be dropping down 3, 4, and 5, 6 on the alternate list. Like the dude didn't make it. Like I'd rather see a guy who made the Pro Bowl quarterback for both teams than have a third string alternate because 2 people can do it. He ain't a Pro Bowler. Like when you go there, you need to be statistically a person that made the Pro Bowl, not just a guy because we had somebody to fill in.
I think I like all those points, and I really think that this could be a model to take. They'll never do it because they don't want to open up that can of worms. But if they really want to get the Pro Bowl back, take 40% of the revenue and give it to the players and see what happens and split it up. Just take 40% of one game and give it to the players. Yeah, we'll still give y'all the 60% NFL, but see if you don't get people like literally going hard to hit the Pro Bowl. See if you don't have people in the Pro Bowl playing to the best of their ability. I'm telling you, 40% rev share to the winning team. Man, man, please. That thing might be better than the Super Bowl.
Shout out to Larry Williams, who we can always count on with the BS in the chat, the good BS that is. Larry Williams said when Taylor hit that punter, ... that's when they stopped the football game.
Man.
Shout out to Sean Taylor, man. Yeah, I mean, they were still hitting in the Pro Bowl back then, man.
Man, Sean Taylor would hit anybody, man. Sean Taylor, hey man, the mailman couldn't get up to his house moving too fast. He'll hit him too. Like, it ain't matter. Sean Taylor just one of them. Throwback, man. Shout out to him, and God bless his soul. One of my favorite players.
Absolutely.
I got one for you. We're going back to pop culture. We was talking about 50 Cent earlier, right?
Sure.
You tell me, Ghost in Power. Was Ghost a boss, or was Ghost really a police calling lame? You tell me.
Woo! I'm like Lil Wayne. Oh man, he certainly had both qualities and attributes. Like he has some lame in him. He has some lame in him, but he most def checked enough boxes to be boss. I think he could have found a better reason, and other than the prosecutor girlfriend, to get out the game, and a better way to get out the game than the club and getting involved in politics. It reminded me of when Stringer Bell tried to get out the game with them downtown developments and messing with the real crooks in government.
Right.
And got took for everything, ended up losing his life over it too. Because as Avon tried to tell him, man, we ain't businessmen. We from the corner. Like, I want my corners back. And Ghost failed at trying to adapt to another world. And that part just made it look real lame, because the stuff him and the drama between him and Tasha and that whole like love triangle, like, come on, dog.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Like, ain't nobody giving up all that over no cat, man. Like, come on.
Man, listen, man. I by the end of that show, I ended up not liking Ghost.
Yeah, he made you not like it because he went lame.
Man, I was like, bro, it's like I was almost wondering, did 50 start not liking Ghost himself? Like, did he not like that? Omari Hardwick owe him some money in real life, because he took all of the flavor like Ghost had. Like, when you watch a gangster flick, you watch it for a reason, and then it's like you watching it and you like, man, this man called the police more than a 94-year-old grandma. Like, bro, he'll put the police on you in a heartbeat, and then want to get mad and go kill you. Like, bro, nah, you the right. Like, but the only person I ever seen go out bad like that about a woman was what's my man name when at Casino about Ginger.
Oh yeah, Sam Rothstein.
Man, double you tell me, Who went out worse behind a woman, Sam Rothstein or Ghost?
Man, Sam Rothstein is the poster child for going out bad over a woman. Ginger had that joker nose so wide open. Man, even the man at the bank tried to tell him don't put her name down. It's the only one who can get in this account.
Yeah. Man.
Ginger, man, look, let me tell you something. A public service announcement to any ladies out there. If you got some cat as good as Ginger, you keep it. I don't want it. Because whatever Ginger put on Sam Rothstein, he lost it all, man. Sam had it going. Sam made Ghost look like the most hardest criminal ever walked the face of earth, man. What Sam Rothstein did, he went out bad over Ginger, man. Then hunted her down and gave her a chance after chance.
Man. God.
But unlike Ghost, now I know this is writers, but unlike Ghost, at the end of the day, Sam was still the last man standing, though, because he said at the end, like he said at the end of the movie, I still know how to pick winners.
Man.
And that's all they wanted back home. The whole time, all they wanted back home was pick these winners and send their bread.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, man. I guess you saved my boy Ghost, man, because Ghost was my dog when he first came out, man. And then at the end, I started noticing. I was like, man, I got a few Hollywood misconceptions that, they kind of pushed on us to be the hero, and then they really wasn't the hero. I got another one on my next. You tell me. You go ahead. I got the next.
Oh no, you go ahead. Come on, we
okay.
Just tie it all together.
Hey, okay, Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
Killmonger was really in the right.
Absolutely.
He really won.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they would have treated him like he won, he probably wouldn't have nutted up like he did.
Well, first and foremost, the king was wrong for denying his existence. So who was really wrong in the whole storyline was T'Challa's daddy, who hid him and act like he never existed because his brother had him out of wedlock in America, in Oakland. Right. So had that never happened, had he been welcomed into the tribe, the whole story never happens. But the bigger story is, we are accountable for each other. Mm-hmm. And how do you have all this right here, but your people around the world are suffering? He won the fight. That was all fair. You got to fight without. Now here's where he went wrong to me, because they all be flawed. Here's where he went wrong to me. You can't burn the herb, dog.
Can't burn the herb.
Like, it's bigger than you. You can't burn. And so he tried to create a situation where it was going to be him forever. Ain't no more Black Panthers but him. That's where he went off the rails at. Everything before that, he was completely in line.
Yeah, man. And that's what villainized him, right?
Yeah.
Like, dang, it's one of those things where I start to like. So now my favorite superhero type movie is gonna be the origin stories, where you see what's going on, and then you can go back and talk about it. Like, all right, because Killmonger really did right. Like, he won. He's basically said, "Hey man, we're gonna shoot the one. All right, cool. I win, right? All right, bet. We shoot the one, I win."
Oh, foul! You found me. You found ball on top.
Right, boom, exactly. Yeah. So like that's how that went, man. And I think they could have let my dog, who ended up being Black Panther, they could have let T'Challa be a little, look like they ain't had to do him like that when he lost the fight. Man, that man shouldn't have. If you was gonna do him like that, he shouldn't have lost the fight. Killmonger should have cheated. But it just messed it up to me. Like, bro, y'all let this man win straight up and just kind of ruin the legacy a little bit. So he didn't even look like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, or I don't know, man. I just think that, but foundationally, Killmonger was low key in the right. Now, he ain't had to burn the herb, like you said.
No, that was messed up.
But he is from Oakland, and that's what they known to do.
That Oakland came out of.
Yeah, for sure. Man.
Yeah, he shouldn't, and I ain't like the way he shot his chick either, because she was bad. Maybe that's me having a little ginger in me, but like, he should have brought her. He should have kept her. He should have kept her. I got one for you along the sideline. You tell me.
All right.
Now in movies and in real life, may they rest in peace, people die.
Okay.
Christopher Reeves played Superman. He died. They kept the character going just with other Superman. You tell me, Was Chadwick bigger than the character where the character is supposed to die with him, or should they just had another actor continue to roll?
Ooh. You know what? I think Chadwick really was that guy because of how it came in, and they should have redone like the way they do like the Marvel Cinema Universe, and you got different phases. Everything in that phase should have been him. Like to come right back after that, it could have been AI or something, but everything should have been him in that phase, and then it could have been like they could have introduced everything else, or his sister being it. Like now, how they got the black Captain America Falcon, Captain Falcon, yeah, that you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Like, but it's in this one. So once that whole Avengers wave, they should have brought it along a little bit after so we could be acclimated to it. But I do like the fact that they kept the series going for what it meant. But outside of that, I'm like, man, yeah, he killed that character. And if he wouldn't have lost to Killmonger, then that thing would have been even bigger. Like as far no did it. He would have been an even bigger version of himself as T'Challa.
So this is one we're gonna disagree on.
Okay.
Because I think the character was so important to the culture. And then I think from a story standpoint, when you introduced these alternate universes along the same timelines, that you could have had another person be another Black Panther from another universe and come in and keep the role. Because what needed to happen for the culture, what needed to happen was a continuation of Black Panther. And I know the MCU, the cinematic universe, is different from the comic book universe. But in the comic book universe, not only does Killmonger become Black Panther, his sister becomes the Panther for a while. So there's ways to keep the storyline going. It's already been written. But I always thought that the character, just like with Superman, Christopher Reeves may have personified the character, but the character was bigger than the actor, and you got to keep the character going. And so I thought for the culture, they should have just let, all right, for this storyline with Endgame and all that, whether it's AI, whoever, it's Chadwick. But the next movie to come out, we're finna have another brother just stand in like it's been him the whole time, because we got to keep this dynamic Black character going, because we don't get a lot of them.
Man. Well, we could talk about a role that, and I don't mean this in any kind of way, no pun intended, that possibly should have went away with the actor. Has there ever been a better actor in a superhero movie than Heath Ledger in the Dark Knight?
None.
Zero.
Nobody nailed their character like that Joker character.
Okay. We ain't got to talk about it. Like I watch that movie every time. Like, and even some of the stuff sometimes they go back and debunk the movie and they're like,
yeah,
oh well, he has this mask on. How did you not know that was the Joker? Like when he was in the hospital, it didn't matter. The way he played that role, and I really hope the role wasn't what cost him his life. But at the end of the day, man, when you talk about someone literally personifying and embodying a character, I don't think I've ever seen anybody play a role in a superhero. I mean, that was literally like something like when we saw Denzel in Training Day. Like like that was that level of acting where I thought and you usually don't see that level of acting in a superhero movie, man. Shout out to Heath Ledger.
Yeah, shout out to Mia. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. You're exactly right. In the future, since they did disclose he had a son, they're going to age his son, and he's going to assume the mantle of Black Panther. So the character will come back. But back to what we were talking about, forgive me, I just saw that comment. He nailed it, man. Like he made you understand the Joker. He made you, and here's when you know somebody is killing their role as a villain. When they become understandable and admirable. Like you ain't had no problem with Denzel in Training Day.
Nah.
Like you understood him. Like you understood Alonzo Harris, even if you didn't like him. You don't have no problem with Magneto. He wants the same thing. It's like Dr. King is Professor X and Magneto is Malcolm X. So it's like you understand them. And when you watch Heath Ledger play the Joker and talking about what his daddy did to his face and He didn't even want the mob's money. Like he was just like it wasn't even about that. Like you just like, man, this dude is deep.
Yeah.
Like no one has nailed their role like Heath Ledger nailed the Joker. And I think you're right. Sadly, I think it did cost him his life. I think he got so immersed in that character and did so much to become that in some ways he couldn't get out of it when it was over.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's one of the movies. It's a few movies that I watch every time they on, and that's the only one that's not like predominantly black cinema. Every time Five Heartbeats on, I watch it. I don't care what point in the movie I catch it. I watch Five Heartbeats. Harlem Nights, whether it's cussing in it or not, I watch it every time. And The Last Dragon. Them 3 movies.
Kiss my verse.
Matter of fact, okay, I got one. I'm gonna steal it back one more time before I pass it to you. That's my Mount Rushmore movies I got to watch at all times. The Dark Knight, Harlem Nights, The Last Dragon, and The Five Heartbeats. That's my Mount Rushmore, my 4. And the 5th would probably be Avengers Infinity War. So we'll just say this. Give me your top 5 movies that you're going to watch regardless.
Movies I'm going to watch regardless in no particular order. Everyone you just named, but take out Last Dragon and put in Training Day. I don't care what part it's on. I don't care if it's on the TV channel, it's cable and cussing. I don't care if it's on commercial TV. If I walk by and Training Day on, I'm sitting down. If I walk by and the other ones you named, Batman with the Heath Ledger, I'm sitting down. Like it just is what it is. Five Heartbeats, I'm sitting down. Life is a good one. I'm sitting down.
Oh, Life
is a good one.
Okay, all right. Hold on, we almost there. We got Life. That's 1. 2, Training Day. Let's keep rolling. I know you got another one.
Five Heartbeats with you on that one.
Okay.
You said Training Day, right?
Yeah.
The Heath Ledger Joker, that particular Batman.
Yeah.
And the either part of the last part of Endgame.
Okay. Either Infinity War or Endgame.
Or Endgame, either one of them. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
You know what? You know who doesn't get no credit?
Who that?
But hey, Thanos was Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
He played the hell.
Bravo.
Yeah, he played the hell out of Thanos.
It's only because of Heath Ledger.
Right.
That that he don't get his. Because again, went about it the wrong way, but he wasn't lying.
He wasn't
lying.
Man, Thanos was so cold. I never seen. I'm gonna tell you when I started liking Thanos. When he came and beat the Hulk up, and the Hulk didn't want to come back.
Didn't want no more.
he want to come back. It was like no.
And I love the scene. When he realized it was a soul for a soul to get the soul stone, and somebody got to get sacrificed, and she was like, "Oh man, he don't love nothing," and he shed that tear. And when she seen that tear, she was like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Oh." He not only oh shit, he loved me. Like, oh shit, this is it. Like, he was so dedicated to the mission. I'm gonna tell you another one.
All right.
And this gonna surprise you because it ain't nothing black about it. The only black person in it is Anthony Anderson with a supporting role. The Departed, the Boston police movie where they undercover. Jack Nicholson played the head of the crime family. DiCaprio was the undercover police. Wahlberg is a crooked cop. Like he's the good cop. But it's a good one.
I got to see that one. It's called The Departed. Okay.
The Departed. It's up there with like The Godfather, A Bronx Tale, Goodfellas. It's in that space. Dave H. just shout out to Dave H. He just said Shawshank, Godfather, and The Departed.
Yeah.
Those good ones. Shawshank, another good one you gotta watch.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's the one where Diddy was in the electric chair, right? No, that ain't it. What's that, The Green Mile? Yeah,
that's Green Mile, yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, boy. Hey, you gotta watch what you put. Hey, man, you gotta watch what you put in the universe. Hey, man, ain't no way. That's one role I ain't playing because, man, the way they going after Diddy, boy, Lord have mercy.
Did it.
Man, no, did. Hey, I got one for you, man. When it comes right now to being the best multi-dimensional entertainer, whether it be a sports guy being an actor, or an actor being a singer, or a singer being an actor, or either way it goes. When it comes to acting, music, sports, in those three, who's the best in your opinion? You tell me.
So wait, now when you say sports, they have to have played sports or
No kind of sports somewhere. It could be Shaq. It could be let's go
so
Burt
like if
Reynolds.
you leave sports out of it, right? If you leave sports out of it, from body of work, what said the entertainer and Jamie Foxx do, they can just do it all.
Yeah.
Like they are literally entertainers. They can sing, dance, act, you know. But if you put sports in it, and even though the sport he's known for most was choreographed, no one has accomplished what Dwayne the Rock Johnson has accomplished.
Ooh, The Rock.
When you talk about his movies, when you talk about now having a tequila, I mean, you talk about a guy. Let me see what he got Instagram, man. This dude probably got 300 million people
The
at
Rock.
his touch on Instagram. What Dwayne the Rock Johnson has done with what he was given, what he was blessed with. This dude got 395 million Instagram followers.
Man, that's a lot.
Every movie he touched, and you talk about WrestleMania, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, man. I don't think there's anything bigger than him.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop the mic on that one, dog. The Rock. I don't think, because I'm thinking about it like somebody. I mean, Ice Cube was somebody who's written movies, acted. Now he's a sports commissioner in his own.
Yeah, now Cube is a good one.
Yeah,
Cube is
Cube.
a good one.
Right, like
I
Impact.
mean, you talk about you and I know Cube as gangster rapper. My kids know him as Are We There Yet? And
Right.
the grandkids gonna know him for Big Three Basketball League.
Come on, man. Longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
longevity.
he has done it, but I just think like you said about the Heath Ledger that we agreed to, what The Rock has done, it just surpassed. I don't know if it's catchable. Dave H just made a good one. A lot of people won't remember it because they just gonna remember the crime allegedly. But man, OJ after his playing career, what OJ did running through the airport for Hertz, movies, all-time leading rusher, and did it with 12 games, not 14, 16, or 18. OJ was that dude, man.
Yeah.
What the Rock has done? Shh.
Yeah, The Rock did it, man. You just had me think about wrestling, man. If anybody that wrestling, if anybody ever seen, it's two clips that make me laugh every time I think about them. And that's Booker T when he was talking to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Booker T when he pulled the Duke to Scoop.
Booker and it was a wrestler named New Jack. I don't know if you remember New Jack.
I remember New Jack.
And he cut that promo and he gave a shout out to OJ Simpson in a crazy way.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
I remember New Jack.
Yeah, New Jack, man. It's on you,
Man, once Super Bowl week is here, and it officially is because media night was last night. I'm sorry, media night was last night. It is officially Super Bowl week. Both teams have arrived in New Orleans. The Chiefs are still favored. You tell me, what do the Eagles have to focus on while in New Orleans to make sure that they're not 0-2 against Kansas City, but can become 1-1?
Woo, man. What do the Eagles? You mean on the field?
The days leading to the game, like they there, like right now.
Wouldn't go nowhere. I would strict curfew for everybody. 1,000%. Everybody on curfew. Somebody to break curfew, y'all, need to be internally handled. No arrests. And I think what they've been saying, which was true, toughness, dedication, and togetherness. I believe those are the 3 they said they've been focusing on. And yeah, TDT, toughness, dedication, and togetherness. And that's what it has to be. In order for them, and to keep it a buck, I wouldn't bet it, but with the way everything been going, like how the world been kind of crazy lately, it may be one of those times where they just, hey, the Eagles win. NFL came out last week saying, or somebody came out and said, was it Kelsey who came out and was like, I don't know why y'all keep saying we cheating, we ain't cheating, or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
but
and the officials came out with a statement as well.
Also, the NFL did say that.
Yeah. The whatever the NFL Officials Association, they made a statement saying, the ridiculousness of being accused of favoritism, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like there's no basis to it.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, just like, maybe there may be some calls that go the Eagles' way, just because they feel a kind of way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Eagles just really got to stay par for course, focus on running the ball, stay out of trouble. If they run the ball, I mean, they could literally just run the ball, and run Jalen Hurts more than they ran him, like more design runs, more rolling out of the pocket, and really just like doing some things that we haven't seen done before at an NFL level when it comes to rushing the ball in a Super Bowl environment. I think if they do that and play bend but don't break defense, then they'll be fine. That's what they would have to do, in my opinion, in order to win.
Yeah, I like that. I'm with you. I like that. I think they got to take it. Not that they're not taking it seriously. I'm just saying you got to take it more serious than you think you're taking it. Because here's the fact of the matter, man. When you talk about remember the time, when you talk about longevity, when you talk about legacy, when you talk about your name being debated in barbershops 30 years from now, the Kansas City Chiefs can lose this game and they're going to still be debated in barbershops 30 years from now. The Philadelphia Eagles lose this game, they won't even be mentioned 30 years from now. Just like the Buffalo Bills, who went there 4 times in a row and lost, don't get mentioned. Philadelphia Eagles have now been there 2 times in 3 years. If they don't win this one, it doesn't mean anything. Whereas Kansas City could lose it, and they're still going to be talked about as one of the greatest dynasties. Mahomes is still going to be talked about as the new GOAT. Nothing changes on their end with a loss. Everything is solidified with a win, but nothing changes with a loss. With a loss for the Eagles, you straight up out the history books. And if you don't believe me, you don't see people sitting around talking about Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith and Jim Kelly because they went to 4 Super Bowls and they lost all 4 of them. Nobody cares about second place when it comes to this game. It's just like second place in March Madness. If you didn't win it, hell, you might as well not even make the tournament as far as history goes because they don't talk about you. So I'm with you. I think they got to lock down, sequester, do everything that you do, every motion, everything you eat, every time you go to sleep, everything you do is based on having a successful game. You got to take it that serious.
You're right. I read the chat. Michael Lockhart said they all talking about the Eagles, what they need to do. Said they all need to hit Bourbon Street and get drunk. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Hey, I'm with you on that tip too.
Man, shoot, man. The Mavericks probably thought Luka was gonna be down there. They was like, nah, look at him out of town already. Man.
Hey, let's close out on this one. Let me throw this at you. Just like both teams are now in New Orleans, both players are now at their new homes. AD is in Dallas, and Luka made it to LA and had his press conference. And Luka went well out of his way. Hell, he looked drunk on that picture right there, Chico. And that's the official picture. That ain't Chico AI stuff. Luka went well out of his way to intensify and double down and triple down on. I'm just as shocked that y'all are. I had no idea this was coming. Oh, I did this was coming. I didn't see this coming. You tell me, Deuce Scoop, should he have seen it coming?
Yeah, man. Shoot, man. It's an old saying. Some people don't believe fat meat greasy. And at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure, the signs were there. But when you're young, man, I remember the first job I got fired from in college. I knew this. I mean, I was going to work late, but they were still letting me come.
Yeah.
You know, the register was always off, but they was still putting me on the register.
Yeah.
And I folded. I was working at Aeropostale in Auburn Mall, man, and I folded clothes like I had 3 left hands. But they still kept letting me come until they find somebody else, you know, to take my job. And then I got ready to go to work one day. Then I was like, no, I ain't gonna go to work. Man, my eczema acting up. I literally called them folks and said, hey, man, I think my eczema acting up. I can't make it today. They was like, man, this dude, he don't want no job. So then when I come back from kicking in Atlanta for the weekend, after I done called out for eczema, after I did everything else bad, I went to work like nothing was gonna happen and late. About 4:15, supposed to be there at 4. They was like, boy, what are you doing here? I was like, what you mean? I'm here for my shift. Like, you ain't think you got fired after all what you done? Now, me being 20 years old, I'm like, no, y'all didn't call me. Y'all didn't what? You mean to tell me? But that was my immaturity, because after that was that lesson I learned. It said, these folks ain't playing with me. Now, that wasn't my first job at all. I started working when I was 14, but I was in school. I thought I could do what everybody else was doing. And, hey, they lucky to have me. I'm getting my degree. I don't need this job. I treated it like that because of how, you know, how I felt about myself. And I learned that you have to be a part of whatever culture that you're into if you plan to stick around. Your culture doesn't supersede the culture around you. And I think that he should have known. I think I think he's at a level where if you can handle buying a $15 million house, you should be able to read the signs around you. Him buying that $15 million house that they say he just closed on lets me know he had no clue. Yeah. So I think he'll be a lot more vigilant going forward.
That's why I phrased it the way I phrased it. Like, should he have known? Because I absolutely believe he didn't. And whether that is age at 25 and the immaturity that can come along with that, whether that is entitlement, which can come along with being the leading scorer in the league the year before, whether that is a cultural disconnect, you know, where you just ain't believing what you're hearing because you ain't never heard it before where you're from. Stir it all together. I can believe he did not know. But I can also say he should have known, and I guarantee you that the signs were there. But here's what I guarantee you more than anything. I bet everybody was on time at Dallas Mavericks today. I bet everybody hit their offseason body weight goals this year. Because what it said to that locker room, if they would get rid of him, what you think they'll do to my ass?
Ooh, let me tell you something. As a manager, and I hate to say this, but the best tool that you had was the pink slip to somebody who they thought wasn't going to get it.
Yep.
Man, please. My last job, we had a guy there. He was the only person that knew how to do one specific function at the job. And he knew how to do everything. So 6 hours of work for him was as good as 8 hours for everybody else. And he let everybody know that he was that guy. Y'all can't do it without me. And then I got so mad I learned. That's how mad I got. I took my 6-figure behind out there in some slacks and learned how to do his job. So I can say, hey, buddy, you got the right plan with the wrong man. We'll holler. And from that day forth, it was easy. I realized that and when I learned the job, I realized how easy it was to teach to other people. But because of how previous management and even some of my management treated this guy because he knew that job, nobody wanted to mess with that guy because they was like, oh, well, that's our guy. We can't. And then and I literally was able to train 3 to 4 people to work that same job after I got rid of that one. And when I was able to leave that place, it was 10 times better than what I picked it up. But sometimes it just takes that one guy. I'm telling you, like I said the other day on the morning run, don't be surprised if the Mavericks galvanize after this move. Now, I'm not saying long term, because I still think it's a bad trade, like long term. It is. Like, I would have had to figure it out.
There's gonna be some galvanization because no diddy, some booty holes tight now.
Hey, wait, let me tell you something. It is diabolical to go no diddy before what you say. It's crazy. Hey,
sometimes you just gotta get ahead of it. You gotta get ahead of it. Hey, and speaking of get ahead of it, Dukes, you know we about to come to you because you always give us that last word as we cross this 1 hour going live. Appreciate y'all being patient with us as we start the show. This has been another episode of You Tell Me. Do not forget to check us out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when you got Big Dog Chico, who's producing in the background on this show. But Big Dog Chico, Deuce Scoop, yours truly, Uncle Neely, with the morning run Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So y'all make sure y'all check out that new show that is going well. Be sure to support it. Like, share, subscribe on all 3 platforms. Duke the Scoop, as always, I bring us in. You take us out, baby. What you got?
Man, you know what? I'm glad. So, Chico, can you bring up Eric C. Wright's last comment? He says, hold up, Dukes. We're going to put this one on. This is how I'm going to end it today. He said, hold up, Dukes. You fired Buddy because you was hating? No, sirree. I let Buddy go because he came to work when he wanted to, was going to tell me how he was going to do the job, and for the fact of he had people thinking that nobody could perform until he got there. So no matter what the goal was for everybody else, we were held hostage by one person. And it was to the point where it was like, bruh, you're not going to tell me what to do in my spot. So if that's hating, that's fine, but you got to go find your own spot to do that. And at chance after chance after chance after chance, come on, man. Pep talk here, pep talk there. Bring your kids to work. Don't worry, they can sit in the office. I mean, it didn't matter. You need some food? All right, here, man. Oh, you broke? All right, here, buddy. I got you, bro. Sending cash apps, all type of stuff. So, man, I ain't have no problem when I had to fill out that form. It was like, hey, my dog, hey, tell you what, the check already in the mail. Don't even worry about it, man. We'll see you next time for sure. So let me say this. If I say anything to end the show, don't let your lack of willingness to learn handicap you into being abused. And we can expound upon that later. That's all I got.
Dude, the school dropping the jewels. Y'all better pick them up. They got value. Been another episode of You Tell Me. We will be back next Tuesday night live in between time. And in the meantime, again, check us out Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and then it's a Friday coming. Check us out Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning with the morning run. On behalf of Big Dog Chico and my man Duke the Scoop, it's yours truly, Uncle Neely. And we out. I can't figure this out. Like help me out. I'm trying to understand, dude, what the hell is going on. You tell That's the name of this partnership. You tell me. 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 Live on Mondays. You tell me. Live on Mondays. You tell me. Live on Mondays. You tell me. Live.